do it. Let's do it. Louie? So here's my guest today, Louie, because see, my other guest had to reschedule. So here's who I am, Mariquita Elise, vegan empowerment coach, and the show must go on. So Louie is going to step in as my guest, and today we're going to talk about some funny things that have been happening here. And I hope that our signal just holds up. It looks like it is. If you want to join me as a guest on here or as a conversationalist, please let me know. I put the link down here on it's on YouTube. I think you could see it there. So, what are we talking about today? Resilience, right? Hey, JJ. Hey, everybody. Louie, wake up. When you're a guest, you can't go to sleep. So, we just wanted to share some funny things that have been happening and to say hello to everybody and to say good job, everybody, for everything you're doing for the animals, for our planet, for the environment, right? So, we have some funny stories. Let's just get the what is it called when the elephant's in the room? All right, so here's what happened. I got my hair cut. I went to get my hair cut. It's gone now. It's funny because, well, it's funny for me because I said, I just want to get a little bit cut off, right? And so she cut a tiny bit. So I went to a new place. I just moved recently, and she cut a little bit. And I said, just a little bit more. And the next thing I knew, I don't have any hair, but that's okay. And then I went back to the car and it was crooked. One side was longer and one side was shorter. And I was sitting there kind of horrified in the car looking at my hair and thinking, okay. So I went back inside and it was really funny because she was very funny. She was telling me how, wow, I'm making you look great. You look super. Look how great you are. And I was wondering, so when I get my hair cut, and I never know how it's going to look until I go home and fix it myself, right? So, but I did see that it was crooked, right? So I went back inside. It said, well, this side's shorter. And so we tried to fix it. And then the other side was shorter. And then we're like, no more, don't cut anymore, right? Very interesting. So, hi, Vegan Bohemian 2022. And I also asked for my bangs to be like this, but that's okay. So they're and that's all right. Thank God hair grows. And so anyway, yeah. You never know what's going to happen. So, yeah, you're right. Someone's saying I have many ladies tell me how they're always looking for a new hair person. Yeah, well, I moved, and so I went to someone different. That's all good, right? So anyway, this is Louie. He's my Chihuahua mix. I think he looks like a corgi. What do y'all think? I adopted him a little more than a year ago. If you don't know his story, he was abandoned and found in a backyard, had heartworm when I adopted him, and now he's heartworm negative and going to sleep. He likes to lounge a lot. I imagined I'd be adopting this young dog that wanted to go running and do all this stuff, but he's more of I'm a young dog that likes to nap. So he's even napping during our thing, right? So look, I see some comments about cutting your own hair. I cut my own hair for 20 because of this fear. Yeah, that's smart. But I don't think I could cut my own hair. That might be even worse. And JJ is saying, you convinced me to cut my own hair if I ever do. Y'all, my face is hurting from laughing. So, and if you want to join on here, I put a link. You feel free to get on here with me and be a star. We're stars today. So, what else, y'all? I was going to tell you about my funny experience as the leader of the animal ministry at Unity North. First of all, I have this little Chihuahua mix, Louie, who likes to nip at everybody. So I have to be very careful to tell him not to pet him. Gosh, but luckily, most people know Chihuahuas. So anyway, so we had a pig this time, and it was very hard for me to find a pig to come to the animal ministry, because my goal at the animal ministry is to bring in all sorts of animals so people will begin to see them as living beings, right? And see the commonalities that we all share with all living beings. So without saying vegan or without being preachy. So that's really what I work hard to do. And I've had and as many of you all know, he's very yippy too. Um, that we had a ball python come to share about transformation, flow, and that was wonderful. I used to be scared of snakes, but I'm not anymore. So Louis turning his back to us, but that's okay. So we had my friend's pet pig, Julie Robertson's from Georgia Animal Rights and Protection. So I've met Julie at the PETA protests and at Georgia Animal Rights and Protection protests before. And so it was great when she told me, we were at the aquarium protesting, and she had a pig. So I was really looking forward to bringing the Goji, her pet pig, to the animal ministry. And I really told everybody, please come and watch. So I really talked it up. And so we were going to start at 2:00. Julie got there early. And so I went and saw Goji in the car, and there he was in the back, just lounging, and she got out his grapes and everything. I think Louis is going to exit this live stream. So bye. Tell everybody bye, Louis. You're conking out on them. So here we are, and Julie's getting Goji out of the car. She has a little ramp for him, and it wasn't on there right. He kind of fell and skinned his little leg, and then he didn't really want to come out, and he didn't really want to walk around very much. But I mean, he wasn't hurt. He just had a skin leg, and then so we kind of tried to get him in around the side of the car and into the building. He did not want to come in the door. So I had all the people there that are waiting to meet Goji. My 2 musicians lined up that are not, I wouldn't say that they're animal lovers or that they were really like, wow, we have a pig. But anyway, they were really ready to play. They had practiced a lot. And so I had people trying to come up and talk to Goji, and I had to tell them, all right, everybody, let's keep it quiet because Goji does not want to go in the building. And Julie was trying to get him in there with her nuts and her grapes, and he just was like doing his own thing. And so this is a big pig, right? It's like a 160-pound pig. So at one point she tried to pick him up, and that didn't go very well. I mean, he's huge. So I had to go in and tell everybody, just hold on, everybody, please be quiet. And this was on and on and on. Oh, for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. At one point, he was almost in the door, and Julie tried to get him in, and then it just went kaput, and he backed out again. So we started again quietly trying to get him in the door. And someone suggested we put a little mat over that door area, and that seemed to help. So we almost had him in the door, and I went around and was going to shut the door with like one little push, and I pushed a little bit and shut the door. And my gosh, I was trying to shut the door, and he was going crazy, yelling. And I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm the leader of the animal ministry, right? And it sounds like Goji's being tortured. And it was very hard for me to be a part of that, right? But really all we were doing is just giving him just a tiny little nudge to get in the door. But I guess on the other side of the door, he was sliding on the floor. So it really it freaked him out. So I did get the door shut, and I heard people saying, let's just call this off. It's too stressful for him. So I love the way that they had empathy for him. So that was great. So he did get in. I went around. I was scared. I was shaking with stress. Like my stress was way up here because I had the musicians, the guests, everyone was waiting. And I was like, there's nothing I could do. And I didn't want to be very loud. I went over there and told him, but there was no guarantee of how long this was going to take. So, well, we got him in the door, and then he walked over to the side and put his head in the corner because he was just not used to that. He is an indoor pig. So he just isn't used to going to church, I guess. Or whatever you want to call Unity. Unity, he didn't know that Unity, we welcome all, right? At Unity, you could be Buddhist, you could be Muslim, right? You can be a pig, and we welcome you. So he didn't get that memo. But anyway, so he went over in the corner, and in the meantime, I tried to start the ceremony. And I mean, I told the musicians, go ahead and play quietly. And they looked at me like I was crazy. Quietly. But anyway, we had a guitar and a ukulele. So they started playing. And 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 then Goji seemed to calm down a little bit, and I checked on him. I listened to the music, and I went and checked on Goji, and there was a young man that was doing Reiki on him, and Julie said as soon as he started doing the Reiki, it was working, that he was calming down, and he started eating his grapes and nuts again, which was a tremendous blessing. Energy healing is wonderful, and it's wonderful for pets too. So Goji calmed down. We were able to continue on, and Julie gave a really heartfelt speech about the intelligence of pigs, and she was able to just add a little bit, not too much, about factory farming and the treatment of pigs, the way that we treat these beloved animals. So it all turned out well. Goji enjoyed himself so much he was falling asleep as we were talking. We met some more vegans there that had come from the Universal Unitarian Church. Reverend Jeff and Carol had come to meet me, and then we all discussed, and there was another young lady, Vanessa. We all discussed about how to help animals, talking with Julie and Georgia Animal Rights and Protection and how to get involved. And then Goji was falling asleep, and Louie didn't give one rat's butt about Goji. He doesn't seem to be he's very chill. Thank goodness he didn't want to bite him or bark or anything. So yeah, so that was good that we had that coordination at the end and how to help more animals. And then afterwards, Julie had told me that if Goji likes a place, he doesn't want to leave. So he was sleeping, and then we worked on getting him out, and that took, like, poor Julie was probably there, I don't want to say 30, maybe 45 minutes trying to get him into the car. She was praying for rain because Goji doesn't like water, she said. He doesn't even want one drop of water on him. And so anyway, finally must have gotten the car, and hopefully we'll be able to have him back because it was fun. Really was fun. He was a great guy. We took pictures with him, and which was one of the pictures in the title in the event poster that I made. So yeah, it was a great experience, and people did learn. I mean, it was a seed that we planted about pigs and the intelligence of all living beings. She also talked about chickens and factory farmings, and she talked about how when she puts lotion on herself, Goji as a little pig watched her, and he wants lotion on him too. That was so cute. I mean, tying all this is we're all alike, right? And we all want peace, and we all want to have fun, right? We all want our skin to be soft. So that was very sweet. Just all this connection about Goji as a living being. I did hear some comments about bacon, but what are you going to say? I expected those. However, that's okay because we did what we were there to do. So that came out well. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. As a leader of the animal ministry, I'm always trying to get other animals also to come. If you have any ideas, if you live in Atlanta, we'd love to have you. It's every other month. So that's one thing that I do. I'm also a volunteer at the Nature Center, and I'm docent that I would lead hikes and educate people. I really try to educate them about all animals again, and about food choices on my hikes. When I first started, the reason I started at the Nature Center is because I wanted to be around opossums. And I knew if I went and volunteered there, I would be able to do that. So now I'm an animal handler, and actually my next animal is opossums, but I found another place recently where I was able to handle them right away. So I didn't have to wait because I've been in the Nature Center probably 3 or 4 years now, leading hikes and learning. When I first started my snake training, snake handling training, I remember my trainer, Christy, was like, okay, go ahead and get the snake out. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was scared to get the snake out, right? It didn't come natural for me to go put my hand in the little aquarium or whatever you call it, right? The little place and get the snake out. And I still was scared afterwards. And then during this fear period, I Googled non-venomous snakes, and I saw that they don't have fangs and they don't have venom. So I felt like, okay, all good, right? So if I get bitten, I know I'm safe. But I know one of my friends has been bitten, and probably other people, because he told me that he was getting crowded by the people. We always say, step back, don't crowd the snakes, right? But they came upon him and the snake bit him. I'm sure she was just scared. He was mad at the people, not the snake. So, yeah. But yeah, that was funny. And since then, I am very used to handling snakes. I love them. They're so beautiful. And it's just such a beautiful dance of the way you handle them, right? They're moving, and you've got to move too, and you have to support their bodies. It's very important to support their bodies. We have an elderly snake. Her tail is partially her tail was injured, so she has to stay there. And you can tell she's very old and she's a little bit feeble, so we really have to support her also. One thing that's interesting about snakes is that not only rattlesnakes shake their tails, other snakes too, they'll try to trick you into thinking they're a rattler to scare you off. So that's always very interesting. So if you see a snake that's shaking his tail, it doesn't look like a rattlesnake. It's the snake trying to trick you into thinking you better get away. So they're very intelligent, beautiful beings. And I'm looking for them every time I go on the trails now. I don't always get to see them, but sometimes you never know. I've seen them at the nature center, and I have a whole new respect for them and love for them. So I really encourage y'all to go volunteer at places where you can really speak up for animals. I wish everyone was vegan where I volunteer, but they're not. They're not, but some of them are. Like when I went to volunteer at another rescue place where they do have all the opossums. So we're getting closer. Some of them there was a vegan, right? There was one vegan, and there was only four of us that day, right? And so that was 50% vegan. And then the other one was vegetarian, which is one step closer. And I think the fourth one was not. So, but it's all good because we ended up talking about veganism. So you never know where you can plant seeds. And I see some funny comments from from JJ. She's always got it, the wit. I thought it was impossible. Yes. Anyway, so also subscribe to her channel, Veganology, Vegan Knowledge, right? Put it in the comments, JJ. Monday nights, she has a great live stream. She just had one on with a fruitarian. Is that the way to say it, right? Someone that only eats fruit, which was very interesting about the banana peels and eating fruit, and also that light feeling when you eat fruit. Like when I don't eat something heavy, I think, gosh, I don't feel like I'm full, but how your body reacts to that, and just interesting things. So she always is having great guests. I'm going to be a guest on there in the future. So please check out her channel. Someone's saying, I wish everyone were vegan too. I know, one day, please, right? So anyway, so what else was I going to tell you about? I was telling you about the opossums and being at the snake handling and how much I love it. Oh, so I was just going to tell you about some amusing things. If you have any questions for me, and as many of y'all know, or maybe don't know, I am in a relationship with I like to call him pre-vegan, right? Pre-vegan. So you might think, how can I do that? And I've had people say, I'm ashamed to admit that. Well, I don't think we have to be ashamed, because so many of us are in this kind of relationship, and I prefer that he would be vegan, right? And I feel like my attitude is not healthy a lot of times. I feel like I need to ask, how can I help you? Today I was thinking about it, thinking about talking about this on the live stream, and really thinking, why am I sitting there focusing on that instead of focusing on how can I be of assistance to you? What can I do to make it easier for you to be vegan, or for you to up your health, right? So, I mean, that's the problem focused versus solution focused, which I have to pull myself back into check. it's easy for me to switch to problem focus. Oh my gosh, he's not vegan. He's not vegan. What am I going to do? Is it ever going to change? Hurry up and change, hurry up and change, hurry up and change, right? So I'm a human being, and that's the way it goes. So, but being aware of switching, how can I help you? What can I do to make it easier for you? Or what can I do? What can I fix for you? Because he loves eating what I make. And he does. So we'll see how that goes. But I know a lot of people are in that situation, and with families and friends and these struggles when we go out. Just the other day I was smelling bacon. Just the smell of bacon was triggering me. So it happens a lot. And it doesn't have to be anything much. Like I said, the smell of bacon, I know what is that? Then you go down that path of like, oh no, feeling sad. So, but I'm glad that we did have Goji, the ambassador, who did come into the building for us on Sunday. So I have a animal ministry page, Praying Pause. It's from Unity Church. So if you want to join that, you'll see the pictures of Goji. That's on Facebook. And also make comments. I mean, of course, don't make any. Well, we don't. I don't want to. Of course, I'm trying not. That can't be a vegan site. It's going to be an animal site that we talk about the divinity of animals. So going at it in a different way. So does who eat the food I cook? That's a good question. Louie and James do. Louie, my little dog, he loves tofu and chickpeas. This morning he had tofu and vegetables and pasta, and I was looking to find a vet that went along with it. There was no fighting when I said I want him to be plant-based. And this is I was surprised. She's a blessing. So she even gave me recipes, because this is when he had heartworm and he was having liver issues. She was able to find good recipes, and she didn't say he has to eat meat to thrive. It's a huge blessing. So, and he loves it. He's in very good health. He just got a checkup a couple of weeks ago from the vet, and everything's perfect. Plant powered Chihuahua. I think he's Chihuahua Corgi. So, and he's under the blankets now. I guess he's shy, Anyway. So, yeah, if you have any questions for me, this is going to be just a little live stream. Like I said, my guest wasn't able to come on. So I had a very cavalier attitude about that. I could have found a guest, but I just kind of was very relaxed. Sometimes I just like to get on and talk to y'all and see if you have any issues or any questions, right? I have a little list over there. What else of funny things that have happened? There was one funny thing that happened to me. I don't even know how to explain this. I went to the James Taylor concert the other night with a friend of mine, and I was sitting there, and we had been talking to the people behind us and in front of us. We were kind of having a group chat, and now we were listening to the music, and I felt someone, and I felt like someone was putting ice down my pants. And I was like, what in the heck, right? Do I know someone here who's putting ice down my pants? Well, the guy behind me was trying to put his beer right there in my pants. Like he said, oh, I thought it was the chair. Like this chair actually has a little pocket there. Anyway, it was so weird. And my friend said, well, she didn't think that he was doing it on purpose, because we've been talking to his wife, was sitting right next to him. It was freaking weird. Well, it was dark and he was older. So it was a very strange experience. I've never had that happen before. I don't think I've ever had anyone try to put a beer down my pants, in the back of my pants, as a beer holder. Anyway, I don't know what to say about that, but it was a good concert nevertheless. James Taylor, we were sitting in the front. So have some quirky times. And I just moved into this little farm for a year, and it's really beautiful here. We have some ducks and we have some goats, and the male goat, he's very pushy. Like he won't let the female eat. Well, I try to give her food and him food, but he'll butt her, and I do everything I can to give her the food, and she won't eat it. it's almost like she's waiting that she might get butted more if she takes it. I don't know, or maybe she just doesn't like it. But I wish there was something I could do, but those are experience. And I always wanted to live with animals. These are pets, so they're not going to be eaten or anything. There's some ducks here, and there's a pool, and I've been swimming in the pool, and the ducks come in. So that's very interesting too, swimming with ducks. And because I'll be swimming and just relaxing, and then all of a sudden the ducks will be like, they'll raise their wings or whatever ducks do, and they'll flap, and then they'll just take off across the water. And so a lot of interesting experiences. Some chickens here too, that the chickens don't let me get close, but the ducks do. So it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun experiences at 55, but I feel like I'm in my 30s. But anyway, I'm trying to think. A lot of good times. So if you have any questions, let me know. I just came on here to say hello to everyone. And if you're interested in coaching, a lot of people don't even know I'm a coach. So let me do a little spiel about myself. I am a vegan empowerment coach. I don't do diet. That's not my specialty to tell you how to eat. I mean, I can help you with that. But what I coach people on is the mindset of empowering themselves. So you can go home and feel confident every day, no matter what happens, right? That's very important, that you take care of yourself emotionally so that you are a good advocate for animals. And that's how I help people with this mindset, these limiting beliefs, this depression, right? We can feel very depressed. So that is what I do. Find out what's the belief that's holding you back. Maybe it's like, nobody wants to listen to me. Nobody cares about the animals, or nobody wants to be vegan. So we can't change the world with these beliefs. If these are the beliefs that we're holding in our hearts, we can't change the world. We've got to step up with power and know our power. And that's what I do. I work with people one-on-one. I'm going to have a group coaching program starting again soon. Right now, I'm doing something really great with Claire Mann and Dr. Angela Crawford. Dr. Claire Mann, she was the author of Dystopia. So we're doing with We Did It Health, who I also work with. We're doing a 12-week course on her program, Vegan Voices, so mastering vegan conversations. So that's taking a lot of my time up, but it's great to work with Claire and Angela. I've become really great friends with Angela, and it's wonderful to meet Claire. She's so down to earth, and I love her personality. She's really cute, really fun. She was talking about kookaburras in Australia last night. And I went to Australia once, and it made me miss it. I love that. And this was before I was more enlightened. I wasn't so enlightened. I was at a sanctuary, but I don't even know if it was a real sanctuary. You know how some things say they're sanctuaries, but maybe they're not sanctuaries. But I went to one and saw the kangaroos, and I had a whole bunch of kangaroos right on me, and I was scared. I had the kangaroo food to feed them, but I was like, oh my gosh, please don't get me. I was surrounded. I mean, they're big. I ended up giving the food to someone else. I fed them for a minute, but then I was chicken. And then, but yeah, Australia was beautiful. Amazing. So it was great to talk to Claire from Australia last night, and her talking about kookaburras brought back good memories. So I don't even know how we got off on that, but no, that's what I'm doing now. The 12-week thing with the 12-week master vegan conversations, and We Did It. And so this is an also evergreen program. You can sign up and with We Did It and become a premium member there, and get access to our recordings there and do the program. It's really great. These little clips of vegan voices, videos that Claire has done to help people navigate the non-vegan world. So that's going on. And one thing I'd like to do a shout out to is I'm helping my friend Julius Kiramira in Uganda, because they're poisoning dogs and cats and animals, and the goats and the cats and the dogs, they're eating out of landfills and they're being poisoned. So we're working on raising money for a sanctuary. So I'll put the link in the comments for that. If we could get some donations. One of the dogs just had puppies. We're working on getting them all fixed because this is the last thing we need is more puppies suffering. So yeah. But yeah, I've got a lot on my plate here. A lot on my plate, right? I'm also the leader of the healthy living group in my church. So that's whole food plant based. I'm really working on my own diet to really up level whole food plant based because I also am addicted to these processed foods. So breaking the addictions, I've seen where I try to take on too much too fast and then things go down the tubes. So I just need to implement a little bit into eating more whole food, plant-based foods of the earth because we're just surrounded by these images of processed foods and of course the images of meat, all the propaganda all the time. And it's so easy to grab. Well, I'm not going to name any brands. Okay. I'm not going to make that mistake. But, we know some brands that are easy to grab, but they're still vegan, but they're probably not the healthiest if we eat them all the time. So I'm trying to make better choices. But again, I'm a human being in this human experience. So I fall down and I get up. Even before this live stream, I was very unmotivated today. And I laid there on the couch and I thought, why am I so unmotivated? What would motivate me? It's like nothing would motivate me. It was very strange. And I laid there thinking, well, what am I living for, right? And I just thought, well, what would make me happy? Like if I was going to a concert tonight, would that make me happy? And I thought, well, kind of. It's really hot outside. I would love to go outside, but I thought if I could go outside, maybe that would change things. It's very humid. So, yeah. But yeah, sometimes you just get like that, and I had to be gentle with myself. But this live stream's helping because I love talking to y'all, even though I can't see you. But I see somebody's got a sweet comment here. And I do own an Instapot. Do you own an Instapot? I find that's essential for whole food plant-based eating. I'd be happy to chat with you about that. Well, thanks. Yeah, I do. And I actually have it out. So, oh, wow. Here's another good comment. There are chastity belts for female dogs. Well, that's good to know. Thank you so much for that comment because, see, I made the mistake of not knowing that female dogs can get pregnant very young. So I ended up with 5 dogs once. And they weren't all puppies. So I had one dog my first dog was Sergi. And he was a part Jack Russell. Oh my gosh, he melted my heart. He would do anything for me. I loved him so much. And so I didn't want him to be alone. So I got Piggy. Piggy was part Chihuahua. And this was before I knew anything about dogs. And so someone said, hey, I got a Chihuahua puppy that looks like Piggy and they could have babies. And I didn't really want that, but I thought, oh, she's so cute because he brought her to me. She was so cute. And of course, I just was suckered. So I adopted her too. Her name was Coffee because she drank coffee. But after she came to live with me, she didn't drink coffee anymore. So I named her Moe, and then Moe and Sergi and Piggy, I guess, because they say it could be more than one dad. She ended up having puppies, and oh my goodness, I ended up with 5 dogs. I kept one puppy that was 4. And throughout the years, Sergi got cancer. I was so sad, and I was taking him to the holistic vet for ozone treatments and anything I could do. I was doing everything I could for him. And at the park one day, I saw a little Chihuahua running around, and I was just so sad. And I saw this little Chihuahua was able to leash him, to lasso him, right? Normally when I see a dog running around, I can't lasso them. But I did lasso him, and I caught him. And that was Mick, my sweet little angel Chihuahua that I recently lost about a year and a half ago almost. Oh my gosh, he was 18, and I loved him so much. So I've loved all my dogs. Sergi, Moe, Piggy, Garci, and Mickey. And now I've got Louie. So, yes. So anyway, I see some great comments here also that they're chastity belts for male dogs too. And someone is saying, check out Naomi Green for whole food, plant-based guidance. Okay, I will definitely. Yeah, I need to be on the ball. I've been, like I said, I moved here recently. And when you're moving or when I'm moving, I'm just like, whoa, whatever. I'm just like going, going, going. I was going nuts trying to move everything. And so like what I was putting in my mouth was when they were not the best choices. But now that I'm getting I've been working in my organic garden at the church, and I bring home a lot of beautiful, like tomatoes. The tomatoes are about to turn red, and a lot of basil. I made some oil-free bruschetta last night, and I made some beet pesto, no oil. That's what I've done, is no oil, so which is great. And just learning about all this stuff. But I brought in a lot of great arugula, which I didn't even like. I didn't really know about arugula, but it's growing like crazy in the garden. So now I just pick it and eat it. So that's been wonderful for me. I love doing that. I don't even know what the point of this is. Well, I guess about eating healthier. I guess when I was moving, and now that things have settled down, I kind of found my stuff. Found the Instant Pot, found all the things I need, and the air fryer, so I can make better food for me and little Louie, because he loves it too. He loves chickpeas. He loves his little potatoes. What else does he love? Applesauce. He's a very good little plant-powered Chihuahua Corgi mix. So do y'all have plant-powered dogs? And what do they like? I think he likes beets too. I should have given him some beets today. I know he does, actually. I forgot to give him some. But I have a friend that's dog likes lettuce. And I've never had a dog that likes lettuce. But maybe one day Louie will. So I'm not sure what else we could talk about. I mean, I could just talk all day about who knows what. But I'm trying to think of anything else. There's been a lot of exciting things going on. Ruben Guzman. I don't think he's a doctor, but Ruben Guzman is coming into town on Sunday. If you're in the Atlanta area, we're going to go to Loving Hut to eat dinner. That's going to be at 5:00 Eastern Standard Time. Come into Atlanta and join us for dinner. Talk about whole food, plant-based, and how to up our game when it comes to good health, right? I was seeing where there was a chef that passed away, and I guess the chef was making fun of vegans and vegetarians, and he passed away at 44. And it said I can't even say this, atherosclerosis, which is the hardening of the arteries. It's really sad. I mean, I feel sad that anyone would pass away. My best friend passed away from that, and yeah, because the consumption of animal products it's just so hard on our bodies, and that buildup, it's sad, and I don't wish that on anyone. It's too bad that people just, they don't have the knowledge, or they don't understand. I guess it's because of what we've been taught our whole lives, that we have to have meat, we have to have milk, or our bones will be weak, which is not true at all. The programming. But I'm so thankful that I broke out of that I don't have to believe that anymore. Instead of this is a redirect. Instead of being mad at others, I can give thanks that I am awakened, and I can have compassion for them, because I thought the same thing. I thought my friends were crazy when they said they were going vegetarian. I thought, you're going to be sick. What are you talking about? I felt disgusted when I heard that. I didn't even ask. I didn't want to know, why do you want to be vegetarian? This was in college. I didn't want to know why my friend wanted to be vegetarian. Immediately I thought, weak. He's going to be sick. And that's funny, because that person, this was many, many years ago. Like I said, I'm 55. That friend of mine is no longer vegetarian. And I don't know what happened, but anyway, yeah, I mean, I did overcome these programmed beliefs. So I'm happy and thankful. And I'm happy that you all have too. This is huge that we were able to see the light. I mean, there's a small percentage of us that are able to see the light, and an even smaller percentage of us that take action. So, all right, someone Someone is saying, check out Chef AJ for SOS free ideas. Yes, I will. I do. I know there's a lot of resources. I need to get on the ball and do it. So, one thing I'm going to do tomorrow night is there's a protest at the rodeo here. Shoot. It's like a few minutes away up in a little town. I can't even believe rodeos are still going on, but I'm happy to do that. And I can't remember the young man who's organizing it right off the top of my head, but he said so far he's the only one there. So I think I'll go with him, and then there'll be another lady that she actually messaged me. I had met her at a PETA Proset test, so it was wonderful that we had exchanged numbers and that she contacted me yesterday. So there'll be at least three of us on the street corner Friday night, and Saturday he's doing it again. So more people probably will come to that protest. Let's see what we have here. I got some more comments. I had 2 dogs to start. I built a home, 200 square feet for them. Had 1 dog spayed. The other neighborhood dog jumped over the fence and impregnated her. Oh, was due to be spayed. People wanted me to have the dogs aborted. I thought abortions were wrong, so I'm raising 9 puppies and cook for them every day. This happened before I knew of chastity belt for dogs. Oh, wow. And the chastity belts, where do you get the chastity belts? Is that in the U.S.? And that's nice that you're cooking. That's really dedicated. Raising 9 puppies and cooking for them every day. That's beautiful. So thank you for that. I know all lives are important, and that's the message that we can get out here. And when we're happy, when people see us inspired and powerful and feeling good about ourselves, and when they don't see us desperate to change them, that's what my coaching is. I'm not coming from a place of desperation, right? Well, I'm coming from a place of power. I know what I believe in. I know what I'm living for. And I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm going to stand on that corner tomorrow night with my sign. And the sign is probably going to be one that I made before. Peace, like Shelly, my friend, says, peace for all living beings. She runs a wonderful sanctuary, so please check her out. Shangri-La Farm Sanctuary. So, hi, Stephanie. So, yeah, I'm going to probably hold that sign. I know that I accept that being at the rodeo, I'm probably not going to change anybody's mind. I mean, it's just not going to happen. But I am going to plant seeds. I might have people question, why is that person on the street corner, right? What's going on, right? And these are all seed plantings. So thank you, Stephanie. I'm very inspired by you. Stephanie Treasure is a wonderful marketer and a wonderful plant-based, hopefully plant-based, beautiful lady. She's been raw and she's done it all. I mean, she's very healthy. So I'm inspired by her. So check her out. So yeah. So when we live our truth, when we stand in our beliefs and we're living in alignment with our beliefs, we're unstoppable. We're unshakable. Nobody's going to shake me off of that I'm doing the right thing. No one's going to make me feel depressed or sad. I might feel a little depressed. Of course, I'm going to feel a little sad and depressed about the situation of our animals, but I know I'm doing the right thing. So I can feel sad, but I also can feel empowered and I can feel proud of myself from taking action. And I encourage you all to take action. If you're not taking action, only 1% of us are taking action, and we need everyone up and out. So that doesn't mean you have to stand on the street corner. It doesn't mean you have to talk to people. You do what is right for you. Maybe you're a vegan artist. Maybe you're a vegan musician. Maybe you're great at writing letters to the editor. There are so many ways to advocate for animals. You find your way. So whatever's right for you. And you don't have to find it immediately. Kind of how it's a journey. Look at yourself. What do you like to do? What are you good at? How can that be translated into vegan activism? Right? Ask your friends. Maybe you don't know. Ask them, hey, what do you see my strengths as? Right? How can you incorporate this? And I'll give you a little few tips from Claire Mann from our class that we've been having with her, that Angela and I have been facilitating. And so some of the things she says are, like, when she goes out to talk to people, or if she's on the plane, let's just, for example, she'll say, oh, I'd like soy latte, or I'd like some soy milk with that, or I'd like some almond milk. She doesn't ask them, do you have it? I love it. She's very assertive in that she just acts like they have it, right? Oh, I'd like the vegan choice. She doesn't say, do you have a vegan choice? No. So I love that. That was a great takeaway. And I love working in this program with her. It's an honor to be a facilitator in this program with her and to have the behind the scenes connections with her. It's beautiful. So yeah, that's a great takeaway. And then that's kind of like, that's a great way to plant a seed too. Like, we're assuming that they have vegan options, and then we're not frazzled, or we're not upset if they don't. We just say, oh, okay. Oh, so you don't have vegan options. Okay. And then we go on, right? She's not getting frazzled. And we don't want to be frazzled either. We don't want to fall apart. We're fine because we're strong in our belief. We're strong about who we are, right? Nobody's going to take me down. I'm going to be strong. You say you don't have vegan options. That's fine. That's fine, because I can take care of myself, and I will give myself vegan options, right? Next time I know, I'll bring my own in case you say no, or I might have something in my pocket that I have, and I'm not going to complain or anything. I'm just going to get it out and eat it. So someone might see, like, what are you eating? Oh, well, I'm eating these wonderful nuts and fruit. So I don't think she doesn't even use the word vegan. What does she say? What do you, oh yeah, she will just say, do you have almond milk, or what do you have plant-based, or what do you have? I don't know, what would you say then? What meat alternatives do you have, maybe? So I think, if we can, I know that word can be very triggering to people. So she talks about that too. So I'm finding out where you can get these chastity belts. Amazon, $35 each. Okay, well, that's very important because each dog dogs eat a lot, right? That we all know. So, and look at this. Here's another tip here. Plantbasedcookingshow.com. Got it. Thank you, Stephanie. And Stephanie's whole food plant-based. And here's another great tip from her. Live by example. And if people ask questions, you can explain and encourage them, right? Yes, exactly. We've got to know, what do people think about eating plants, right? We've got to be the listeners instead of coming out there and doing all the talking. We've got to be the listeners to hear what are they thinking? And so what do they need, right? Do they think that we're not going to get enough protein? Well, we know that most people think that. So how are we able to share the knowledge that we are very healthy and that we have enough protein, right? We want to be thriving, we want to be laughing, we want to look like we're living and enjoying life, right? So I know that when I spoke with Jeff Palmer, this was part of his transformation. He saw someone and he said, my gosh, look at her. What does she have? And that was like a seed, just her being. And that's what we want. We want our own being is just to be full of life, that people say, why is she so happy? Like, why am I so happy? Because I'm living my purpose. I'm doing what I want and what I think is best for the planet, right? The choices I make are for the planet and for myself and for my health. Why wouldn't I be happy, right? And when you're doing that, you will be happy when you're living in alignment with your beliefs. So Stephanie's got it right. And here's another great tip. Share food at gatherings and show others how delicious plant-based food is. Yes, yes, yes. Amen to that. And there's a lot of great recipes, and we have to remember it's a transition for others. So if they're eating I mean, it's a transition period. So being gentle with them, right? A little bit at a time is crucial. And remembering that baby steps, and not discounting the baby steps. So every baby step is beautiful, right? Because it takes all those little baby steps to start running and to start doing what we need to do. So let's see. All right, y'all. Well, shoot, the signal's been really good. And let's see if it holds out. I was just going to say, I think actually we're coming to the end of the hour, aren't we? Yeah. So it's been a wonderful live stream, just fun. I can be a talker, which is good because I used to be super shy. So that's transformation and growth, right? As a child, I was terribly shy. Oh my gosh, I never wanted to be away from my mom. The summers come. I mean, when fall comes, I feel sad because I have the feeling I'm going to have to go to school and miss my mom. That's still there, fall comes and I'm going to be without my mom. So, and that was being shy, the shyness of not wanting to leave my mom's side, but she would be proud of me. She's probably watching me. I'm a lot like her. So my mom was always smiling and laughing and singing. And my mom and dad, my mom would come in on my birthday singing, and my dad would be playing the guitar and singing Las Mañanitas. So, which was really nice. They're from Mexico. So it was fun. So those are good times. So I encourage smiling and laughing. Everybody get out there and smile and laugh. And thank you so much for being with me during this lovely hour. And I'm not sure who said this, but thanks. Y'all are so sweet. I really, really appreciate everything you're doing for this planet, for our animals, and for yourself. Celebrate you today. I am celebrating you all. You all are amazing and beautiful. You're sweet, Stephanie. I just sending y'all love and blessings. I know you're right. My mom would be proud of me. She was very sweet. She wasn't like a tremendous dog lover, but she would allow my dogs to bark at her and do whatever, and she would be sweet to them because she was so loving to me. So lovely. Anyway, thanks y'all so much for this live stream, and I hope the signal's not going to fade when I'm saying goodbye. But all right. Well, I guess we'll say namaste, vegan, everyone. And I will see you. Reach out to connect more. If you're interested in coaching, be part of the group coaching, please reach out and we will talk later. Love y'all.